Can they see me?
I think you need to hide more. Hide it more. Even more. Okay. Okay, now hide them. Okay, I think that's good. Good morning. Nicole.
They just want Boogie.
Boogie, 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 I have to come. Come here, boy.
Look at his face. He's like, he woke up like this.
Boogie, I have to come say hi. Good morrow.
Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
Oh, he's wiggling his little tail.
He's like, I don't
Boogie's
want to get up.
coming
I'm so
for
happy.
you guys. He's oh. Boogie, come. You have to come help.
Oh, come here, boy.
They don't even want to listen to us. They just want to hang out with Boogie. I'm not taking offense to that.
Is Boogie here? Where's Boogie?
Boogie, do you have something to say today?
I'm really tired right now.
Did you just eat a little too much asparagus last night? Is that why? Remember when we shared asparagus? So Boogie has his thing. If you haven't already noticed how cute he is, imagine how he acts when he's around
something.
food. He puts his like cuteness,
It's
like
an
he
extra
turns his
cuteness.
cuteness onto like 1,000.
Pro level.
And
cuteness.
he blinks at you with like in his eyes and looks
No, he
up.
like winks at you. He's like, hey. I'm
And
down
then,
here.
and then like he looks really strong and then he crosses his legs too. And I'm like, I'm a sucker for him every single time. And it's known that Mama S is a sucker. So I gave him some mushrooms and asparagus from last night's dinner. But good morning, guys. Happy Friday. So normally on Fridays we do interviews, but since yesterday we had an interview, today we're just gonna make it what would be
a
regular Friday episode. But this is cool because we're going to talk about a weekend related episode. And this is something that we don't normally do because of the interview. So for one, thank you for showing up. Let's see who's in the room this morning. Nicole,
who wants
good morning.
to see Boogie.
Stacy, yeah, Nicole doesn't even care about us anymore. Teresa, Sterling, Andrea, Jeanette, Carissa, Mark. It's been a minute, dude. Tina, Emily, Kat.
Good morning.
Bronio.
Brittany.
Good morning,
Good
you guys.
morning.
Good morning, good morning. Okay, so today we're gonna bring into awareness a trap that most women, men too, who are even more consistent, struggle with this because they don't even realize that they're doing it. Okay, and it's called the weekend trap. Okay, so now here's the thing, you guys. Let's say we have 7 days a week and we're perfect between Monday and Friday, right? Like we've been so on point and then the weekend comes and we just want to like lay low or hang loose or celebrate, you know, our being on point for that week. So, you know, a lot of times what we see that people do when they're so perfect during the week is that they get into the weekend feeling so fried that they end up sabotaging all of their week's efforts on the weekend. So now, here's the thing. For one, it's all about long-term trends, right? If you haven't heard us enough by now, what we care about is long-term trends, right? Like, let's say if you treated yourself to one thing on the weekend that was intentional, totally fine. But what we notice is that a lot of people treat themselves to this thing here and that thing there, or just a slice of pizza and a glass of wine on Friday, and then on Saturday, you know, like maybe post-workout donut, just one, not a big deal. And then, you know, maybe like a Saturday cocktail, just one, not a big deal. And then Sunday's here, so, you know, you're getting ready for the week, and, you know, one glass of wine, not a big deal. So now here's the thing, right? Raise your hand if you've ever been in that boat. I guarantee you that at least 5 of you guys who are in this room have been in that boat before.
My boat was a little bit more extreme. I was on the Wicked Party boat for a while, and I think that
the Wicked Party
and I
boat?
think
Tell
that
us about that.
And I think that a lot of people too, it's not just one thing here, one thing there on the weekends. It's one thing here, one thing there during the week. Or it's, I was so perfect during the week, and then it's all hell breaks loose and the freaking shoot food into my mouth from a fucking cannon, and let's use a dump truck, and I'll just stand here like this, and you can just dump it in and I'll swallow it, right? And like, that sounded bad. Anyways, yes, sicko. But I think it's like, you know, the weekend, we relax. Like, we think of the weekend as like, oh, I'm not working, so I don't have to work on anything, right? And we kind of like, our mind kind of lets go of responsibilities or intention. And we're like, oh, you know, it's the weekend. So then there's so much carelessness, and you're like, I'm going to have fun. And your idea of fun is, and this was me, was like stuffing my face with food. And it's like, oh, well, today's already screwed. You know,
So
I'm just going to keep eating.
Give us like a typical day, like, or just an example of what would happen during the weekend. Because honestly, I was on the party boat too.
Yeah. So, you know, I think there are some people who are, you know, a little of this here, a little of that there. But, you know, we get into this mentality of all or nothing. And so during the week, it's nothing. And during the weekend, it's all, right? So, or you could go the opposite way, where you're just so perfect, right? I'm not going to eat a single carb this week. And then on the weekend, it's like, I ate enough to make up for the entire month. Mm-hmm. Right? So, you know, the day starts out and you're like, or even if you plan to have a treat or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to, you know, start the day good with a nice healthy breakfast or whatever. And then it's like, as the day goes, we care less and less. And as we keep eating more, we care less and less, you know? So I think that, that is one scenario, is just the, like, all hell breaks loose. Like it's like your food is like the Kool-Aid guy busting through your house, like, oh yeah. Like, and just, it's party time. And then there's the other version where it's like, you know, you just kind of relax on your goals a little bit. You don't maybe go completely backwards, but it's easy to stall results. People are posting some comments.
Yeah, I want to read them, and then I want to make a poll for you guys, because I kind of want to see, like, where are you guys at with this?
But I did so good during the week.
This is cool because we don't normally like have weekend talks, because wait, Sterling said I've never been in a just one boat. Yeah.
Oh, just one. Yeah. I just have one chip, really.
But I did so good during the week, so I deserve a treat. Been there, done that. Yeah. I used to do that all the time. I've been more mindful what I eat on the weekends for about 6 months. Yep. Date night on Saturday when Grammy had the kids would be the worst for me. I'm so all or nothing. If I gave into a treat, all bets were off for the rest of the day.
Yep. And sometimes if it happens on like a Friday night, all bets come off for the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm. Finding healthier things I love has really, really made a difference, and no more macro counting. Amen to that. My kryptonite is Mexican food and margs. The days I'm off of work, I don't eat as much as I should, or on a vacation. one bottle, maybe one bag, one bucket. Yeah, totally. And you know what? I was actually like in the same boat as Erin. So like when my health journey went like this. For the first couple of years, it was just a vicious cycle of me obsessing about diets, but like getting like mediocre results and then going back. So that repeated itself for like 10 years. And then when I got on like the good path and I was actually like becoming who I wanted to become, now my battle was I was really good during the week, but the environment that I was in wasn't fully supportive. And the girl that I dated, you know, like every Friday night, as soon as I got off work, I used to work in the service industry for quite some time. So like she'd bring in a bottle of wine and like, if you know me, you know I love chocolate, and like she would get me like a thing of chocolate truffles. So this is how Friday night will just start. Like, you know, wine, and for me it was like a box of truffles. Amazing. Way to start the weekend off strong. So that started on Friday, and then Saturday, less meals, but the meals were like, you know, eating out at restaurants, having alcohol, and then Sunday, like again, like massive meals, lower quality because it's the weekend. So like, you know, instead of eating a wholesome breakfast, you eat a fun breakfast. So basically the reason why we bring this topic up is because we truly believe that, you know, if you're in this room, you've been to some degree in experiencing this for quite some time or even right now, right? But here is the perspective that you need to take on. So most people are obsessed with what they weigh in right now. For one, we talked about the scale a bunch of times, and we will keep on, you know, talking about that because we find that especially in this community, like a lot of you guys do struggle with scale addiction, and we recognize that, and we do want to help to release that from your life. So that's one. But, you know, for two, when it comes to your success, right? Like your success with regards to becoming that person that you want to become, right? And now it's not determined by how much you weigh, because by becoming the person you want to become, quite frankly, it doesn't matter whether you weigh 140 or 150. It's all about how you act. What you need to do is you need to take your performance and measure it by weekly trends. So I'm going to repeat that. You're going to need to take your performance and measure it by weekly trends, Monday through Sunday. So knowing that, let's say you're the kind of person who right now, you're all or nothing, Monday through Friday, epic, Friday through Sunday, mediocre to a shit show. How would you end up rating your week, right? So like the weekends end up being almost half the week. If we count it from Friday at 5 p.m., basically Friday at 5 p.m. to Monday at 8 a.m., like how many hours out of the entire week is that?
And this rating on this 1 to 10 scale is based off of efforts.
Yeah.
Right? Not perfection. It's based off of your efforts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So knowing that, I wonder how many hours are between, can we ask Google? I'll ask Google real quick. No, that's fine. One sec, you guys.
What are you asking though?
How many hours are between Friday at 5 p.m. and Monday at 9 a.m.?
5.
And then ask Google how many hours are in the week.
Siri, how many hours are in 1 week?
168 hours.
Okay, so 168 hours in the week. And then How many hours are between Friday at 5 p.m. and Monday at 9 a.m.? No, there's no way there's 232 hours.
Okay. Come over here. Your face is in the camera. Okay. So, what do you want to ask?
Siri, how many hours... Siri,
I'm listening.
how many hours are between Friday at 5 p.m. and Monday at 9 a.m.?
Sorry, I can't do that.
Can you guys do that for us?
She's not a mathematician. Okay, so at 5 p.m., 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Friday,
12. That's 7
Saturday,
hours.
Sunday. So wait, 48 hours between Friday and Sunday, and then 48 plus 12, that's 60. 60 plus 4, 64. How many hours are in the week?
168.
So 64 divided by 168.
Here, stop. 64 divided by 168.
That's 38%, you guys. That's 38%. So let's say you were perfect.
If you fucked up 38%, that means you get a D.
That means, so 38%, like, that basically means that if you're perfect throughout the week, you're starting off at like 62%, which 62% is sub-average, right? Like, you want to be at least at a 7 to get mediocre results, to be honest, right? And of course, it's different for everybody depending on where you're at in the spectrum. Of course, if right now your lifestyle is at a 0, then 10% will get you further. However, if you're already trying, right, know that for being perfect, okay, like absolutely perfect during the week, and then for not being aware on the weekends or just shitting the bed on the weekends, you are starting from 60%. That's really shitty, right? So I think for a lot of health conscious people, Boogie, do you have a question?
I think that's not a good way to go, Mama.
Boogie, you're right. You're so smart. You're so smart.
And also, can I have some pizza?
Really? You already had extra asparagus last night. Do you remember that? Boogie forgets that he ate. He always pretends that he doesn't eat. But anyways, so, the reason why it's important to talk about that is because, for one, most people are just not aware of it, right? People think that because it's the weekend and they don't have to attend to their job, they can kind of like loosey-goosey in every single area of their life. I believe that real success happens based off of the things that you do on the weekends. How you spend your weekend, the things that you do on the weekend will actually help you to take it to the next level. Because most of the time, for 90% of the people, right, they have structure during the week. Mm-hmm. And I believe that for us, and this is from trends that I see from working within our clients, right? So I'm not just making this up. When people have structure with regards to their day, they're more attentive to what they do throughout the day. But when they don't have structure, they become completely unaware of what their life looks like. So now, if you are completely aware with regards to all your actions during the week, and then your weekends are either sub-mediocre or a shit show, it's no wonder like you're getting average results, even if you're being perfect throughout the week.
So let's give like action steps.
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap it up on a Friday, and you can go enjoy your mindful weekend. But create your own structure on the weekend. Mm-hmm. I mean, COVID has kind of taught us all that not having structure makes us go bonkers. So you can have a planner of your own. You can put the pencil in onto the paper and create a structure for yourself to follow. So even on the weekends, now this can apply at any time, whether you are working or not working, whatever. Create your own structure on the weekends, and plan it out accordingly, right? Fill up the time with intentional activities, or responsibilities if you still have them on the weekends, and create a structure for yourself. That way, you know, and set an intention for the weekend and plan ahead so that as it comes, you're a little bit more prepared and it's not just a free-for-all.
Yeah. Most people, when not being given structure, they just don't know what to do with themselves.
Go buck wow.
Let's say if you don't have a job to attend to or something, you know, of some kind of responsibility on the weekend, doesn't make it an excuse for you to not create structure. We thrive on structure, and the most successful people, ask them, like, do you have structure on the weekends? 100% they will always say yes. Success in anything in life requires structure. So the more structured you are, the more you're going to show up. Okay? So as we're headed into the weekend, you know, ask yourself, what is one thing that I'm going to do to create some form of structure on the weekend? Right? Like, start with one. Don't take it from 0 to 100, because if you have had no structure on the weekend and now you're committing yourself to 10 things, for one, you're then not going to show up during the week because you're going to be burnt out. You need to increase your tolerance level, and that takes time. Okay, so start with one thing, create structure. So for some of you guys, it might be, okay, I'm going to create a movement structure. I'm going to maybe like start working out on a Saturday. Or for some of you, maybe you already work out. I'm gonna eat a clean breakfast right after my workout on Saturday, right? Like, there's no right or wrong here. It's about being aware and then taking action.
And then set an intention for yourself. Set an intention for the weekend, and nobody should say, I'm gonna be perfect on the weekend.
Don't ever expect to be perfect, but always expect to do your best.
Yeah. Always expect to do a little bit better than before.
Yeah.
Right? So create structure, set an intention for yourself, and then let us know how the weekend goes.
Yep. Do you have anything else to add?
No, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for joining us all week long. You know, you guys showing up every day is for you. But we feel it, and we get just as much out of this as you guys do. So we are thankful for that. You know, if you find some kind of value in this, if you can resonate with anything, if you thought of anybody while you were listening to this, or if, you know, a little light bulb went off, please share this, you know, on your own Facebook page or with a friend, or tag some people. That's all we ask. We do this for free all the time. And all we ask is that you help spread the word, the truth, what people need to hear. That's all I have.
Boogie, as you guys can see, Boogie is ready for the weekend.
He's already on the weekend.
You ready to give them a kiss? We love you guys. Happy Friday. We'll see you on Monday at 6:30. Bye.